you've been taking a look further through the papers. Where should we start? Let's start actually with the front page of the Eye, shall we?
Yes. So this is J.D. Vance, the US Vice President, is in the UK for his summer holidays. He's taken a break to the Cotswolds, which seems to be full of Americans now. Ellen DeGeneres has moved there as well, so let's see if they're going to be bumping into each other. But he has been meeting with David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary, and both their wives too, to go fishing. And it's emerged that during that they discussed Palestinian statehood. So the UK's position is that if Israel doesn't meet certain conditions, it will recognise a Palestinian state by September, and the US disagrees with that. Now, J.D. Vance has reiterated that position, and in fact he said, the quote they've got on the front page of Eye Weekend is, "I don't know what it would mean, so where would the Palestinian state be? Who would be its recognised government?" And this, you know, clearly Trump and Starmer have got a very good relationship. They've praised each other at every opportunity. I think J.D. Vance is, in many ways, more ideological. He's more clear about his disagreements with Britain on things like free speech and now on Palestine. So although they're photographed together enjoying a fishing trip across the pond, is what they're doing for the photo. So full marks to whichever comms person came up with it. But clearly there's actually some, you know, quite profound disagreements on this area of foreign policy that is the one that everyone is talking about.
But that's what's always said, is that the two allies can have a deep, pretty kind of sometimes divisive conversation, but continue to also keep it cordial as well. And that's what politics should be. You should be able to have different stances. No, you know, just in general, you should be able to have different stances and also be able to get along. But it's hardly surprising that the US is going to push back on this.
Yeah, I mean, he's just saying it's meaningless and problematic. It seemed even like a sort of flippant comment that he made, because they were talking about lots of other things. And they were talking about, was there enough water in the pond where they were fishing and all sorts. And they're getting on really well. It is nice to see how well they're getting on. They've got this shared background. They both had difficult childhoods and had addiction in their families. They've got on a whole range of issues. And what it shows to the rest of us is you can be profoundly opposed on certain subjects and still get on and have a lovely fishing trip. And isn't that all where we need to be in life?
Yes.
And the other thing they have in common is that they've both said they loathe Donald Trump in the past, which is quite an unlikely coincidence.
It is an unlikely coincidence, but I was kind of thinking back to your point. I was thinking about when we kind of present these things, and you go, well, despite them having radically different political opinions, they're still friends. As though that's a shocking idea, which we've kind of slowly tiptoed towards that as a society, that you can be on different kind of polarities when it comes to ideology or politics, but to be friends, that's going to be very tricky indeed. But it's sad that we start to think that way.
Gaza has seen a lot of people I know fall out with one another. I mean, really, you should be able to have a dinner party conversation and get on outside of that. You can have a debate, a spirited debate. I debate with you all the time, Ben. But, you know, it is sad. It's a lost art, and it's really sad, and I hope the tables turn. And if J.D. Vance, by the way, is the one to change, to start the change, that'll be quite the thing, won't it?
Why are they shouting at the fish? That's my other question.
There's basically not because there's been a heat wave.
Right.
And he was saying that his children caught all the fish and...
the
lammy really struggled, but I just don't think they caught any, to be honest.
Well, I mean, J.D. Vance has been quite forthright, though, about British and European attitudes to things like free speech. So, you know, he's not been the most cordial or the most diplomatic at times compared to most presidents and vice presidents. So I think maybe it's a step in the right direction. David Lammy, of course, is also a personal friend of Barack Obama. So he did a Kennedy Scholarship in the US many years ago before becoming a British MP. So he's obviously got strong understanding and strong relations with quite a lot of US politicians.
He's not rising to the bait.
Oh, there we are.
Very good.
You hooked me in with that pun very nicely indeed. Let's talk about this.
Flapping.
You'll flounder later. Let's talk about the front page of the Daily Telegraph, shall we? You've made a lot of notes about this one.
I know, because I am outraged. Because, OK, so I'm just going to read you the note that a shopkeeper in Wrexham put up in his shop window. Due to scumbag shoplifting, please ask for assistance to open the cabinets. I think that's the most harmless thing I've read in a long time, certainly in the Telegraph. But somebody complained, and the police came knocking and said, you've offended somebody. He rightly pointed out the only person that would be offended by being called a scumbag shoplifter is a shoplifter. So why on earth should I take my sign down? And this is exactly what you were saying J.D. Vance has been saying, which is be careful, don't slip into this censorship trap that America nearly fell into, and we are too.
So, yeah, the front page of the Telegraph here. Thieves are not scum, police tell shop owner. Force action criticised as woke nonsense, according to the paper.
Well, I mean, I have to say, they should be focusing on the shoplifters and not the signs. I mean, we're all a nation obsessed with shoplifting at the moment. I think it's gone up by 2/3 or something insane like that. We're all furious that police watch shoplifting happen, and in this case, the police did catch somebody shoplifting on a different occasion with the same shop owner, took the shirt off the shoplifter, gave it back to the owner, and then let the thieves go. So it's frustrating.
It's apparently there's 3 thefts reported every minute. Now, many of them, I suspect most, aren't bothered to be reported. And so that gives you a sense of the scale. I mean, the Co-op supermarket chain is putting cameras on everybody's name badges and all sorts of measures like that because of the scale of losses they're happening. I know I was in my, predictably, I was in my local Greggs recently, and someone roller skated in with what I assume was their child, a man with his child, just took some juices off the shelf and then roller skated out so quickly that you sort of
kind of don't process it.
Exactly, you can't quite believe someone would do it. And then I spoke to the woman behind the desk, and she said that she'd been in tears a few days earlier because they're just so sick of people stealing routinely.
The emotional impact on the staff that work there, the potential physical risks that they're exposed to, and then also the financial burden on everybody else because of the losses. You know that prices go up but at the same time there are people struggling. So and I'm not saying that everyone that shoplifts falls into that category. There are other opportunistic people doing it too, but it's a big issue, but a challenging one.
Yeah, and for this shop owner, it's created distrust as well, because he said repeatedly in this article, I pay my taxes, I'm paying for that policeman, and he's doing the opposite from what I require him to do. So there's also it just creates this feeling of distrust with the police.
And it plays into this idea that the rules don't matter in Britain. I mean, you see it with the fact that some signs were put down on London's Oxford Street saying mind the grab, i.e. people might try to grab your phone in the streets. The idea that it is going out with a nice watch or having your mobile phone in your hand that's the problem and not the thieves. It just feels like there isn't the emphasis on the people that are going out there stealing, that there isn't consequences for those people. And I think that's why a story like this makes the front page, because it's not a rare experience to be frustrated by that, to witness this thieving.
This reminds me, do you remember the hairdressers in North London who put up a picture saying, don't get a haircut like this guy, and it was a picture of Kim Jong-un. So don't get a haircut like this guy. And they got a visit from the North Korean embassy because they took offence at this picture of their esteemed dear leader. And again, they asked them to take it down, and this hairdresser was absolutely not.
That's amazing.
There you go.
The North Korean embassy, I think, is in Ealing. It's just
It's a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah, a semi-detached house, which is utterly extraordinary.
We've got 30 seconds left, but I don't want to now skedaddle through the rest of the papers, so we'll save them for the next hour, I think is the easiest thing to do. What's on the rest of the agenda for the rest of the day, though, after this?
I'll be telling you how to break into an Oasis concert, because it's been listed in great detail in The Sun. There's been 200 tickets given away to people breaking into Oasis.
Interesting. More of that to come after this short break.
Hear that whistle and that crunch?